What can we actually joke about? And why we're all hypocrites? What if I told you that humans have never been rational, that comedy has always been censored, and that what's unacceptable shit?
We're still the same group of cavemen arguing around a fire, except now we have Twitter. Back in the day, if a joke offended you, you had to write a letter, buy a stamp, go to the post office and wait for no one to respond. Today you get offended, post a tweet, and within 30 seconds, 5,000 people are debating a comedian's ass on Netflix. But here's the real question. Has comedy actually changed? Or have we just changed the way we react to it? Today, we're proving three things. Comedy has always been censored. It's just faster now.
We don't laugh at what's right. We laugh at what's socially acceptable at the time.
We are all complete hypocrites when it comes to humor. So buckle up, because this episode is about to make some people uncomfortable. Censorship in comedy isn't new. The only thing that's changed is how fast we get outraged. Take Lenny Bruce, a comedian in the 60s who was arrested multiple times for telling obscene jokes. His crime? Saying words like fuck in public. Or George Carlin, who had to fight a Supreme Court battle just to get his routines aired uncensored on the radio. Even The Simpsons and South Park, shows that are now cultural staples, were once considered too vulgar for children. And yet today, these once offensive comedians are legends, and their jokes have become classics. So why the hell are we still doing the same thing? Because censorship never really disappears. It just changes owners. It used to be the church and the government. Now it's the digital mob, the internet's moral tribunal, where people take turns deciding what's funny and what deserves cancellation. And here's the plot twist. We have absolutely no clue how to judge comedy. The best proof that we're emotionally driven idiots pretending to be rational is that every time we debate the limits of humor, someone inevitably says, "Comedy has limits. You can't incite hate." Sounds reasonable, right? Wrong, because inciting hate is an abstract and arbitrary standard. Example 1. If I make fun of a corrupt politician, is it satire or hate speech against politicians? 2. If I joke about a social group, is it critique or discrimination? 3. If I make a joke about religion, is it humor or intolerance? There's no correct answer. It all depends on who gets offended first. In Salem, they burned witches. Today, we burn comedians. And here's the best example of how absurd our collective stupidity is. In the Salem witch trials, a woman accused of witchcraft was given a simple test. Jump into the water while chained. If you float, you're a witch and we'll burn you. If you sink, you were innocent. But congrats, you're dead anyway. Brilliant. Now what do we say to comedians? Make us laugh, be our clown. But if you offend us, we'll crucify you. And if you do make us laugh, we'll still crucify you, because you probably joked about something you shouldn't have. In other words, we're screwed, and we make sure everyone else is too. Stand-up comedians today are basically Salem witches with microphones. No matter what they do, someone will want to burn them. For example, 1. If a comedian jokes about politics, they're either too progressive or too conservative, depending on who's listening. 2. If they joke about minorities, they're intolerant. 3. If they joke about the rich, they're a genius. 4. If they joke about neutral topics, they're boring. You can't win. And that proves that comedy's limits aren't based on ethics. They're based on collective hypocrisy. The real problem isn't the joke. It's that people want to control the uncontrollable, what makes others laugh. We think we're rational, but we don't even know how to tell the difference between a bad joke and a badly told joke. 1. A racist joke from 1800 doesn't work today because it's disconnected from reality. 2. A joke about hip-hop artists saying, "I came from the streets, now I'm rich," can work, because that's literally what they say in their own songs. It's not about the topic, it's about the execution. If a joke is clever, has context and reflects reality in an unexpected way, it works. If it feels like a lazy rehash of a stereotype with no punchline, it's garbage. For example, 1. A joke about how the Irish are all violent drunks isn't funny anymore, because the stereotype is dead. 2. A joke about how banks forgive millionaires' debts but screw over the poor still works, because it's true. Conclusion. It's not that certain topics are off limits. It's that if a joke sucks, people will know. So does comedy have limits? Short answer, yes, but those limits change every 5 minutes depending on the morality of the day. Long answer. The limit of comedy isn't dictated by ethics. It's dictated by the audience.
The real question isn't what's funny, but why do we care so much about controlling what makes other people laugh? Because if a joke doesn't make you laugh, that doesn't mean it's offensive.
It just means it's not for you.
And if you need everyone to laugh only at what you like, buddy, the problem isn't comedy. The problem is you. If this episode made you think, subscribe to 277 Broadcast. If it didn't, well, maybe comedy just isn't your thing, huh? See you in the next episode. And remember, if you're not laughing, maybe the problem isn't the joke. Maybe it's you.